what we are going to cover is basically the understanding of mutual funds and the bonds, the debentures part basically. So there are two different products. One is called as mutual funds and the other one is the debenture. So in mutual fund also there are a variety of schemes. So one is for equity purpose or the other one is for the debt purpose. So it depends on in which you want to invest into. So let's understand first of all what is mutual funds. Okay, so here I am making an assumption here that you know nothing about mutual fund. Okay, so I'm assuming this is your very first attempt to learn what is mutual fund or about mutual funds. Hence we are going to start it from scratch. Mutual fund is nothing but it is a vehicle to collect money from the investors to buy securities. So what mutual fund does is basically collecting the money from various investors, as we and I as a retail participator who knows about market but does not have time to get money to get invest, or does not have knowledge, okay, for the purpose of how we want to invest and something of that kind. So what we do is we give money to the mutual fund manager to manage our fund, and this mutual funds collects money from all the investors, and they invest those money in the securities, buy those securities. Now these investors will have a common objective. So you and I as a retail participation will have a common objective, and this pool of money is advised by the fund manager who decides how to invest the money. So who will decide how to invest the money? It will be decided by the fund manager and not by us, because we are giving them the money. They are collecting the money from various investors, and based on the objectives of the investors, they will put the money into the stocks. So it will be decided by the fund managers who is managing the fund. So there are fund managers, okay, here on a large scale basis who can cater to millions of customers and offer the same service to each one of these customers. So now the fund managers will pull the money from the investors like us, and once they pull the money from the investors, what this fund manager does, the fund manager will invest that money into buying the securities, and they will cater millions of customers. So they will be having a lot of large customer base. So this large customer base, and they will provide the returns to them. So in exchange of fees, what they will give us a return. So they will charge certain amount of fees for managing the funds. That fees will be deducted from your return, and the balance amount they will give back to you. So there the return will be very same for all the customers who have invested the money in here as a retail participator, who have invested the money. The mutual fund managers will give the same amount of return to each and every customer, whoever invested the money there. Now customers in the fund management context are people who are looking for fund management services like we, okay. These large-scale fund managers typically operate through a mutual fund structure. So there is a structure of a mutual fund. In that mutual fund structure, they basically operate. So what is mutual fund? In a mutual fund, different people invest in a collective investment vehicle, okay, with a common investment objective. Every investor in a mutual fund is treated equally in terms of percentage return. So as I said earlier, that each and every investors will get a same percentage return. So in a scheme, if a scheme earns a 10% return in a year, every customer in that scheme will get a 10% return. So it is not that one customer will get a good return and the other customer will get a lower return. That is not the case. It's always the same. So in each scheme, if we have invested in a particular scheme and that scheme has given you a return of 10%, each and every investors in that scheme will get a 10% return.